You ever see a shadow out of the corner of your eye? Have you ever had that feeling that something or someone is watching you? Do you ask yourself why these spirits are here? What do they want? Are they lost? Or are they trapped? I'm Ryan, and I run a paranormal group called Nuclear Soul Seekers. These are just some of the questions we ask when we do an investigation. We just don't try to get evidence of the paranormal. We try to get answers.
Where's the lady from upstairs one keeping you here?
You're listening to Trapped Souls. Hey, welcome to Trapped Souls. I'm Ryan.
I'm Aaron.
And you're listening to another episode of Deadspace. Today we're talking about paranormal equipment. Going through social media, and a lot of people that know that we do this now, they're starting to ask us, what equipment do you use and why do you use it? So we figured we'd do an episode on equipment. There's a lot out there. I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of stuff that works. We'll give you the stuff that we use, what we think is best. The other stuff that's out there that we're not too sure of yet, maybe because we haven't used it, or we just don't think it's legit. We'll go with that. We're going to jump right into it. Erin has some stuff she wants to talk about. You want to go over what we use first?
Sure, yeah. I basically wrote all that down, so we kind of have an idea. And how I separated it into is ease of use, beginner friendly or not, cost, things like that. The first one that I have on there is a voice recorder. You can get a decent, cheap voice recorder just about anywhere. I know that Amazon has them cheap, Walmart, all those places. They're simple and they're effective. So biggest reason that we use the voice recorders is to pick up EVPs. So we'll do an answer or call and answer session and then, go over everything when we're done. So we have that. It's simple. Anybody can use it. It's a good thing to have. Even using your phone, your recorder on your phone, same difference. Again, beginner friendly, fairly inexpensive. So the voice recorder I do like.
Can I interdict on that a little bit? So yeah, she said there's a lot of voice recorders out there. I have 3 of them. I have a $40 one. Is where you hear most of my EVPs from. I have a new one that's over a $100 one. I'm going to tell you, thing is sensitive.
Yeah.
I mean, when I use it, we're on the 3rd floor. I can hear people talk on the 2nd floor. So when you're trying to do EVPs, be careful.
Yeah.
Make sure they're actually EVPs and not people talking. So if you get a really, really good recorder, just be careful of that. Because, I heard people 200 feet away talking.
Yeah.
And you got to make sure that I'd go with the $40 one personally. They're easy. They're simple. The only issue with EVPs, you don't hear it till the next day.
Right.
So that's all my input on that.
The next one would be our spirit boxes. So basically, spirit boxes are a way to communicate with the spirit and capture EVPs in real time. So you're going to get a response, something that you're going to be able to hear. It uses radio channels, radio frequency, runs through AM channels that are the best to run through instead of FM. You're going to have more of that like clicking. It's like that shh as it goes through. But there are times you can really pick up a good word or whatever, something, talking to you. The other cool thing is you can either speed it up or slow it down on how fast you want it to run through the cycle of whatever channel it happens to be picking up. It's fairly easy to use. Again, it's pretty beginner friendly is what I would say. They can be fairly inexpensive, all the way up to a couple $100. There's, again, Amazon. There's a bunch of websites that I go through and look. I think the one that I got was about $90.
$90 was SB7.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most common used one.
Right.
I think there's an SB8 out there now.
Yeah. But it works great.
It works great. Again, you got to be careful that you're not picking up just radio channels.
Right.
And you're hearing voices. When you do hear a voice come through, it's your first time it's noticeable. Because they'll actually go over like 2 or 3 channels. Mm-hmm. So make sure you got the speed on decent speed. Going through the channels, you'll hear a voice come over like 2 or 3 channels. And not like me, who like, you get great car insurance. That's the stuff kind of I hear. I'm not good at it. Like the spirit box itself, I'm okay with it. But be careful. Just don't assume that it's a ghost. Make sure it is a spirit.
Be discerning. take a moment, think about what you just asked, and think about the answer that has come through too. But then the next thing we would have would be night vision cameras. A literal handheld camera, again on Amazon, runs about $60. They work really well. They charge really well. You can see the movement. You can see things if something shifts. You can watch a shadow move across, especially with those. They can be pretty cheap in price all the way up to super expensive. Again, what you want to put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And the nice thing is being able to go back and, using your SD card, even setting one up that you can just let it run for a while. So
I can watch it for 3 hours.
You know what? I know I have a problem, but it's okay.
Again, the night vision cameras, usually they come like the $60 to $100 ones. You flip the little screen open, it has a little 2 IR light on it. So you're only going to see how far that IR light goes. It's usually like 15, 20 feet. If you're going to go like the $60 route, which is fine because we have, there's IR attachments that you can buy that are rechargeable, big IR attachments that will let you see 30, 40 feet. So I'd invest in one of those.
The next thing is a laser grid or a laser. They're super cheap. Again, you can get them online. Again, beginner friendly because it's just click a button, you've got a laser. They're easy to use. You could see movement when you put the grid on. So it'll shine. It's a bunch of little dots that create a grid, and you can watch things move through if something happens to be walking through.
I got one now.
Okay, we've had a couple, and they're nice. I mean, they're easy to use. They're dummy proof. So yeah, we do like the laser grids.
If you're going to use a laser grid, use a camera too.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any night vision because
Right.
it's a laser, because you don't want to be sitting there like, oh, did you see that movement? And everybody's like, what are you talking about? Have a camera up so you guys can review it later.
Yeah, and a lot of these things, like what he just said, you're using them in conjunction with each other. It makes more sense, obviously, but next would be the REM pod. The REM pod, the biggest thing is it changes and it picks up changes in ambient temperature. It can show different things like a red or a blue, a drop or an increase in temperature. I just actually was looking at something about that right before we left. They can be fairly like middle range, not super expensive to start with, but then you can get the super expensive ones.
Yeah, there's different ones out there now. They're paranormal equipment or making their own, and it all depends what you want. I mean, everybody sees the ghost hunting. Like everything we talked about is what you see on shows.
Mm-hmm.
So the REM pod uses the EMFs too, and I think we've used ours the last 4 investigations.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think it's gone off 3 times.
I think the 2 times I remember was in Bel Air on the piano, and definitely at Fairfield in the hallway when we were talking.
Jail cell, yes.
Yeah, Sarah.
Sarah.
So yeah, we've got that. And again, you can look online. They literally make kits that you can put together, or you can piece parts. Another cool thing that I do recommend, and I kind of like it, is going to something like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. There are a bunch of places that sell these things that, people are selling them because either they've upgraded their equipment or they're getting out of it, things like that. So you can get it for fairly cheap and try it out. The other nice thing, again, like what we've always said with our group is, you come with us, we have the equipment. You can try it out. You can see what you like, what you don't like, what you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, stick with this from here on out. So there's that. The next thing we have, and this one is new to us, it's the Paraforce Poltrascript. Yeah. So this is a handheld device that literally translates voices and words into text. So you can actually see what it's saying as it's saying it to you. This is one of our brand new things that we've had, so we've only used it once. Learning how to use it is okay. The biggest thing is the sensitivity, because I know that we had talked about that, because it does pick up on things like other equipment, or, if you have your cell phone in your pocket, you got to watch with stuff like that. And it's expensive. It's definitely up there in price, but, once you learn how to use it and you start getting more comfortable with it, I think it's a decent thing to have. I guess I'm old school in the fact I like my camera and I like my recorder.
Oh,
So,
yeah, definitely.
yeah. Also, dowsing rods. I'm going to go old school. Dowsing rods and a pendulum. Dowsing rods, you can buy them super cheap anywhere. It can be kind of tricky to get yourself in that mode of holding them in the correct manner, because you think you've got them steady and then you're tipped or whatever. They're easy. They can be easy to use once you get used to them. We've used them quite a few times. I've had a lot of people say, the worst thing about it is you feel drained after using them. Same with the pendulum. That's pretty easy. We have one, and I have a board that is like a yes-no board. Sometimes rephrase, things like that. I feel more comfortable using that. I probably will never use a Ouija board.
We don't mess with
Yeah,
Ouija
that is not something I want to deal with nor ever want to see. I just, that's a line that I don't want to cross. But the dowsing rods, the pendulums, things like that, those are a group of the things that I really like using. And, Ryan, I'm sure if he's got some of his favorite equipment that he uses, but again, back to the voice recorder and the camera and the spirit box to get whatever I can pick up.
So I'll talk about dowsing rods. Like, I know anything about the dowsing rods, and we used them to Trans-Allegheny. One of the guys had them, and I always thought they were interesting. My only issue with dowsing rods is that you can get a lot of human interference, I guess you want to call it. And I don't care if you are trying your hardest not to move them. Are you moving them subliminally? Like, because you want that yes/no answer. Even though you're trying not to, there's a human factor in it. So they're cool. They're fun to use.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of stuff.
Degree of error to it.
Yeah, degree of error. How much credit do you take into your answers? They're fun. I mean, if you're there and you just want to get answers, try the dowsing rods. Not all this equipment, but some equipment. Like, we have a guy that does the dowsing rods. He does it great.
Mm-hmm.
Spirit box, same thing. We got certain people that are awesome at the spirit box, can pick out words. And we got people that just blurt out shit, I mean, you got to take the human nature. Like, you don't want to go into an investigation that you're going to get something no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, we went to Fairfield. I got nothing.
Yeah.
The guys literally got nothing. I mean, you guys probably heard the episode. If you listen to it, it was a short episode.
Yeah, it was.
Really not even that experience. Cool place, great history. The girls got a lot more than we did.
Yeah.
EVPs and all that. There was really nothing in Fairfield. So I'm not going to make something up just to put it on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If it's there, I'll do it. If you guys saw the video I did of Sarah, that's out on YouTube. Check it out. That's my first video, so you can be critical.
Gentle.
Yeah, be gentle. And those were EVPs that I did get, and they were, I guess you want to call it Class A, some of them. I mean, they were pretty clear. So check out that video and let me know what you think.
Absolutely.
There will be another video coming out in a little over a month of Aaron's solo at Ross House. She doesn't know about that yet. But yeah, we'll do a video on that too. So I'm going to try to keep doing that. And I'm going to do a solo there too. And we'll see which one's better, and I'll make a video of it. You may continue. Anything else?
No, I mean, another thing I would say, a notebook. Have a notebook, have a pen, write things down, write, a feeling of, okay, I feel a change in the atmosphere in that room, or wherever you are, cold, sounds, things like that, making notes, and then, kind of going over those notes, and again, with the time, then looking back on, whatever, recording, EVPs, whatever, you can kind of piece things together to make things make more sense. But it also helps you kind of keep your thoughts in order. So, I mean, one of the things that I've seen recently that we've kind of talked about, so it is a light cord that is motion sensor. And as something walks past it, I can't talk today, you can see it light up. That's cool. I would love to try that.
That's actually EMF detected.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, so it's EMF detected. A lot of the stuff out there, like we use a ghost box that I made. You can make it.
Yeah.
I can't find anything on that thing. So that's something we'll have to buy in the future. Another thing you did, motion detection stuff.
Yeah.
So there's like cat balls.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I can't even believe I didn't think that.
Simple. They're cat toys. People use them everywhere. You see all the ghost shows use them now. I mean, you hit it lights up, put it down, let the light, it's like 30 seconds,
Yeah.
light go out. And we tested them. I mean, we walked around them within like 6 inches. They don't go off.
Hopping around.
Unless they're on a carpet and they're going to move. On a hardwood floor, they're not going to move. You actually have to touch it. So we put those everywhere. We lose them everywhere. But everybody does. We go to like Bel Air. We go to Madison. There's cat balls there.
Everywhere, yeah.
So be careful where you walk to.
Yeah.
Because you might trip on a cat ball.
I have definitely done that.
You are using cat balls. If you do put them in a path, a walkway path, whatever you want to call it, make sure you pick it up. Right? Because the next group might trip on it. And if you have a problem forgetting where you put stuff, don't put it where someone's going to walk.
Right.
So no one gets hurt, and that's safety's first. Yay.
Safety third.
Not really. Whatever. So motion detector, there's a lot of motion detectors out there. You got the shadow box also that supposedly see shadows. So it's a sensor that to change a light, it'll go off. EMFs, there's so many. You got the tripwire, the Periscript actually does use EMF too. I have a whole bunch here. The music box. Yeah. Whatever they call that. Death box or whatever.
It was Expedition. I can't remember which expedition with Josh Gates. They had a gramophone set up. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So they had the dead bell too.
Yeah.
So dead bell's like an old bell, and all it is the same concept. Some of them use EMF. When you get close, the bell goes off. Some of them use motion sensor. And same with the music box. Some of it's motion censored. Some of it, like Project Fear, uses a motion sensor one. Yeah. But I've seen one where they're EMF. And it's kind of cool. Like there's a really, I would say really expensive. There's an expensive one out there that looks like a little coffin. It has a music box on it. But if you go like Ghost Hunting Equipment, I don't know which site it is, they have one that they make. Doesn't look like a little coffin. Yeah. It's just a regular box. But same concept. It's like half the price. Right. I mean, it'd be cool to have a coffin one, but you're just starting out. Then just get the cheaper ones. Yeah.
Blindfolds for SS method,
We'll talk about SS method because we didn't talk about it. Yeah. So SS method, I'll let Erin explain.
So SS method is pretty cool. So it's where you take your spirit box. You've got a set of headphones. You plug them in to your spirit box. You're blindfolded. You've got noise canceling headphones over that. That way you can't hear what's going on. Somebody's going to be asking questions sitting in front of you or in the area that you were in. You're going to get those EVPs back through the spirit box. And the concept is to try to eliminate as much, if not all, outside stimulus that could influence something that you would say. I know Tegan's really good at SS. Yeah. I like doing it too. It's interesting. It's intense. But I mean, that's a really simple one too, to, a way of using a couple of the pieces of equipment together to get that, somebody could be writing something down while, somebody's running through the Estes method.
So we've used Estes method. You guys heard of Grave Room, one of the Madisons. We had Tegan and Lane in the Grave Room. Devil's Toy Box.
Devil's Toys Box, yeah.
Devil's Toys Box. Yeah. We used a phone, put my phone in there. They had the Estes on. We went all the way down the hallway. We used Aaron's phone to ask questions. It was on speaker. And we got good responses. Again, just because you hear a word doesn't mean it's a spirit. All right. So same with the Oculus, the Periscript, all that stuff. Like you're asking, what is your name? And it goes outside. Don't go, oh, you're outside. Like,
right.
You get a direct answer, like, what is your name? Sarah. Yeah. Okay, that's a direct answer. But I'm not saying it's not a spirit talking. Right. But it's not a direct answer. Don't keep jumping.
Something.
Yeah. You're just looking for answers like that don't have nothing to do with what you're talking about. And ask specific. Ask generic questions, but then ask specific questions. Always lead out to more specific questions. Teddy bear.
Yeah, the teddy bear.
So, one of the guys really wants a teddy bear. I don't know. He never got one when he was a kid. I don't know. But they are cool. And there's $150 ones, there's $400
Yeah.
ones. I think they're neat.
Yeah.
Again, like REM pod's like $200. We've used it for investigations. Got 3 or 4 hits. That's it.
Right.
Teddy bear's the same thing. So you can get a teddy bear that will say stuff when like EMF comes close, or you get one, or it gets temperature changes. They'll say, "Ooh, it's cold."
Yeah.
Or
This ain't your parents' Teddy Ruxpin, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Then the more expensive ones actually light up.
Yeah.
Like when an EMF gets close, you'll hear it'll light up red and be like, "Ooh, that tickles," you know.
That's terrifying.
And that would be a little freaky hearing that, but cool. I mean, again, another piece of equipment that you're gonna put somewhere and hopefully you get something. Again, recorders, cameras, and there's night vision cameras, there's full spectrum cameras, your cell phone camera.
Right.
I always take a lot of pictures. Now, I was never a huge video photo person when I was doing paranormal. A lot of people started asking me to, so I just started. That's why I made that video. I believe 90%, 99% of everything you get spiritually are recordings or visual, like EMF. And
I think it's easier for it to come across.
Yeah.
It just makes more sense that it's the least amount of effort to make a sound as opposed to a visual apparition.
Yeah, and ask simple questions. Like I said, I mean, you get more in-depth questions, but in theory, they always say it takes a lot of energy for a spirit to say something. So don't try to ask, like, give me your family tree. You're not going to get it. Yes, no questions, names, how many spirits are here, who am I talking to? I would say, were you murdered because of places we go to?
Right.
Did you kill yourself?
Rapping, things like
knocks.
that. Yeah.
I mean, knocks are great.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Trans-Allegheny, there's a lot of knocks, and they'll actually respond directly to you.
Hate that.
And, obviously I play games, and I don't know if they're games, but, go through your group. Like, who do you want to walk down the hallway? Knock if you want someone to walk down the hallway.
Yeah, that's what happened at Fairfield for Craig and Sarah. Yeah.
So try to just get a response, but also, like our group, we try to get some answers.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing okay with it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not our fault they don't want to talk to us sometimes.
No, they think you're the asshole, remember?
Yeah. But I mean, it's just be careful of the equipment. That's what I'm saying. It's just don't always think you have something. Just think about it before you post it. And we get that with pictures too. And even on social media. Sorry, social media people. But if you have to circle a picture to tell me what I'm looking at, it's probably not paranormal. It probably could have been, but all I see is this damn red circle.
Right.
So post a picture, and you can zoom in a little bit. But again, when you zoom in, stuff's going to get distorted, and you're going to see stuff.
Right.
Yeah, like we did it at Madison. I had a picture, and we'll talk about that coming up in our next episode.
Yeah.
And literally, I just clicked on the picture, and I was like, oh, what's this?
Yeah.
And showed Aaron. Aaron's like, holy shit. She's like, no, I'm never going up there again.
Nope, never.
We'll talk about that in the next episode. But like that was something I didn't zoom in. I didn't do anything. I did put it on Facebook. A little cut. Wasn't really zoomed, but it was cut.
Right.
But if you have to sit there and explain and circle stuff, it could have been something. I don't know. No one will ever know. And
don't overthink it. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. That's the one thing like annoys me. Like if I have to sit there and stare at this picture for 40 minutes trying to figure out what it is, it could have been something.
Right.
Don't look into it too much. And that's why I never call anything evidence.
Yeah.
I just call it interesting.
Yeah.
Even EVPs. You watch the video. There's some really good EVPs in there. And a little freaky. But can I say 100%?
Right.
No, I can't. It's interesting. That's all it is. It's interesting. I wish we had evidence.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a cop, and you need evidence. But I think the best evidence we really can say was evidence is people getting scratched.
Yeah.
I mean, that's physically, you see it.
Bruised, scratched.
They're around nowhere, and
you
got 3 big scratches going down their back.
Yep.
That's good evidence. Did I see who did it? No. It's interesting.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and always try to look at your, like you said, whatever it is that you've captured. Look at it and really think about what you're looking at too. You know, going back to don't overthink it. Look at that. You know, if it could be as simple as a speck of dust, you know, don't try to convince yourself otherwise.
Yeah. And that happens with the orbs a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a big one.
So my belief in orbs is I don't believe.
Well, he's wrong. It's okay.
It's okay. That's my belief. Because there's too many other aspects into
Right.
it. People have like, oh, these orbs. Like, and I see it again on Facebook, orbs. The place I work at, we have a lot of cameras. No, that's a freaking spider. I've seen many spiders on cameras.
Stupid midges.
Yeah. Like the other night, I'm looking at the camera. I'm like, man, that's like a shadow figure. No, it was a midge just on the camera. A Canadian soldier, like just sitting there marching on my camera. So yeah, I mean, don't, like she said, don't overthink it.
Yeah.
With cameras, flashes, back shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And the picture I showed you of you,
Yeah.
when we were there last time, Tegan took a picture in the mirror.
Yeah.
And she actually saw it, and it looked like kind of like the same person.
Okay.
In the mirror, right by the dolls.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
And when you take pictures, take 2 to 3 pictures in the same spot. If you're using a flash, 3 pictures with flash. Not using a flash, 3 pictures no flash.
Yep.
So you compare.
Yep.
And I did that Trans-Allegheny. I saw the mist come out of a room. I took 3 fast pictures, and you actually see the mist going down the room. I actually saw that with my eyes.
Oh my God.
Because I was using a flash. We're at the end of the hallway. I was using a flash, and when it flashed, I saw the mist go out.
Right.
So I took a couple more pictures. Okay. It was a mist. Leaving the room, going down the hallway. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Right? So take multiple pictures so you compare.
Right.
Because the 4th picture, no mist.
Okay.
So always take pictures. And she had 2 or 3 pictures of that same mirror, and you can see something.
Yeah.
It does look like a face, and I had her actually send it to me the other night, see if it was the same person standing behind you. It wasn't clear enough, so I didn't post it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, take pictures. If you're not unsure, you can put it on Facebook. There's so many groups out there. You're going to get ridiculed, like terrible, ridiculed about it, and take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
Don't fight with them. That's their thought. There's a lot of people on these groups that are just like, oh, you're stupid. That's this. I put a picture. Someone said something about it, and I was like, yeah, like when you do zoom in, it can get distorted. Like, I'm not saying it's evidence.
Yeah.
It's just interesting.
Just trying to get somebody else's opinion.
And I think it's the cat picture.
Yeah.
Of Bel Air. And beware of the cats.
Yeah.
They're creepy. But again, I mean, it's not much more talk about equipment here. If you're just starting out, cheap recorder, $30, $40 recorder, I'd get some cat balls. Use your cell phone. Yeah. Because everybody has a cell phone. You get a recorder on that. I would say stay away from the ghost apps.
Yes.
Anything that's hooked up to the internet, especially with AI today, can make crap up. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people are like, oh, I got this. Like, read the app instructions. It says for entertainment use only. Yeah. So.
And the other thing is how many people have something running in the background on their phone. So it's already causing some sort of interference with it. So yeah, that I've tried the phone apps. I don't like them.
No, I mean, I guess you could put on like airplane mode.
But then a lot of times they don't work because they need the internet to work, which is funny.
Yeah, so if it doesn't need internet, it's probably better.
Yeah.
If it needs internet, delete that app.
Walk away.
But if you just want to have fun, like you're at your house, use it. I mean, but don't go saying I have all this evidence of the devil and it's just an app.
It's your cat walking across your floor. But I can actually go ahead and what I'll do is I will put together a post on our Facebook site of the equipment that we have. Just as, somebody, if you want to pull things off and look at stuff, you'll have all of that, fairly easy from all the different companies that we've used. Because we've used a few different places. Yeah. So, again, not a paid ad, just look what we use.
Again, with the EMF detectors, there's a lot. we'll go over to Madison. Like, I have a few EMF detectors. You got like the $20 ones.
Right.
I used once. I mean, honestly, unless you get it right, because it uses electromagnetic fields. Unless you get right onto like an electric outlet, it's not going off.
Right.
So different detectors are more sensitive.
Right.
The REM pod uses probably like a 6-inch diameter till you get close. The closer you get to it, the louder it gets.
Mm-hmm.
I used a new one in Sarah's room.
Yeah.
And that actually turned out really good.
That was, yeah.
And you get question and responses with that too. Just because you're not hearing voices doesn't mean they're not responding. Maybe their energy, they only have enough energy to get close to that to make it go off.
Yeah.
And if you get one that, like the one I use turns yellow, that turns red when they're closer.
Right.
You can ask, hey, can you turn this red? Or, just hit it, let me know you're here. So different EMFs, you can get $20 one, you can get $300 ones. I just go with one in between.
Right.
And if you're getting a high EMF reading, go around the room and see what's causing that. Sarah's room, a high EMF by the register.
Right.
I mean, we're talking 110, 120.
Yeah.
So we did do a little experiment with that. Nothing really happened with that. So I put someone over there just to see, and nothing really happened. But if you're like, oh my God, like,
yeah,
or you're, you have a good EMF detector and you're like, have it at your waist and you're getting something and you're like, go up, it's gone. You go down, it's gone. It's probably cell phone.
It's your phone.
So think of all aspects of it.
Yeah.
I've done it. I'm like, oh my God, there's something sitting next to me. Well, they're only 6 inches tall and floating in the air because there's nothing below.
It's his phone.
It was my phone. So look into it. Again, you can start paranormal investigating pretty cheap.
Yeah.
We have a lot of equipment. We're starting to get a good stockpile.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other groups out there that have a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
But when it comes down to it, keep it simple. I mean, tripwire's cool because you use EMF. But it's just a lot of these people get into all this stuff that you don't need, really. I mean, there's so much. So you go on ghost hunting equipment, sites. There's so much. They're fun. They're cool. But you're going to spend $400 or $500 for something you use for like 10 minutes.
Right, right.
And if you can afford it, or you already have everything you want, like we do, we're going to start buying that stuff that we really don't need, but they're fun to use.
And with that, try your stuff out at home first. Get used to it. Try that. A lot of times I see that certain groups, you have that one person that they're really good with, that one piece. Switch it up though. Make sure that you're not always using that one, go-to that you're like, nope, this is my thing. Because you could just be so, jaded by it at that point that you're like, oh, I don't want to use something else. And you might get something. So, switch it up. Yeah, you're going to find that one piece of equipment that is your equipment. That is what you like to use. That's your thing. And we have everybody in our group that they do have like that one thing that they really like, but we try to mix it up and make sure that everybody's using everything and learning how to use it properly too.
Yeah, I'm just a recorder guy pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much all I use. I've done
He's
dots and
worthless.
rods. I'm a dictator, so I just tell people what to do mostly. But yeah, like she said, switch up the equipment because you don't know what that spirit can manipulate or talk. So you're using dials and rods, you're not getting anything. Try an EMF detector. You might get something there. Just switch it up because if you only take one piece of equipment in, you might not get anything. But if you take a different piece of equipment, you might get a whole bunch of stuff. Right. So have a few. That's why we have 4 different recorders. I think 5 different recorders that we use. And you heard in the last Madison one, or Bel Air one, actually, when we did Aaron's recordings, my recorder was going next to hers.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that much stuff in the second floor. Hers got a lot. Yeah. And it could be vice versa.
Yep.
So switch it up.
Yep.
And that is all the equipment we use, and that's out there. I mean, there's more equipment out there. You just got to try it. Some people don't like using their stuff in their house. Yeah. Because they're scared to find out if there's actually something in your house. But
it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
But you're a paranormal investigator. I mean.
I'm still a wreck, okay?
You're still a wreck. You save your house. You're good.
I do.
So, I mean, it's cool. Go out there, get some equipment. And that's why we do what we do.
Yep.
As a group, we always invite new people that don't have all that equipment, and they come and try all the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And we had 5 new people there last time, and they all had a good time
Yeah.
because they got to use, see the REM pod. I'm like, oh, I saw that on TV. Everybody uses REM
Yeah.
pod. Had a couple of people try, like, I want to try the dowsing rods. Like, are you looking for gold? Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, if you're not sure, I said Facebook, there's a lot of groups out there that always ask, hey, we're going to this place if you want to come, $40.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're close by, go check it out.
Yeah.
Do a flashlight tour.
Yes.
Madison, Fairfield, they have equipment you can rent.
Yeah.
Don't rent a recorder, just buy a recorder because you're going to want to take it home.
Yeah,
and
go through everything, yeah.
But keep it simple, keep an open mind on it. And if you have any questions about any type of equipment, not an expert, I've used them for 15, 20 years. Drop us a comment, send us a message, and we'll try to get back to you and let you know what we think. Again, thank you for listening to Deadspace, this equipment. Again, if you have any questions, you can reach us trapsouls0@gmail.com, on our Facebook page, Trap Souls, or Nuclear Soul Seekers. I appreciate you listening to it.
You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for listening, and stay spooky.
Stay spooky.